Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Nick Woodman, GoPro's founder and CEO, coming to you live, well, sort of, from our Hero12 Black launch preview. Whew. So stoked you could join us. You know, I would have never imagined 21 years ago when I came up with the first GoPro, whew, a wrist camera for surfers, that one day, yeah, we'd be making a camera as high performance and capable as this Hero12 Black that I'm filming this on. I should mention, I'm also using our Max lens mod 2.0 that you're gonna learn about in a minute. But before I wreck myself, I'm gonna hand it over.
G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Got a bit of a special guest with me today. It's Nick Woodman, the founder and CEO of GoPro. And I can attest, having just raced him on the go-kart track, a hellman behind the wheel as well. Mate, 21st birthday this year.
Yeah.
Do you feel like GoPro has come of age or still maturing?
You know, I always think that we're there until I see what we're working on next, and it's like, okay, that's gonna reset the bar. And Hero12 Black resets the bar this year for sure. I mean, we've taken it to another level on so many fronts, which we'll talk about today, but that's I think the most exciting aspect of GoPro is every year we're innovating, every year we're coming out with a new flagship at least. And every year I think we're really wowing people with how far we're taking this category.
Right, so still kind of finding your feet, borrowing your mum's car, getting too drunk, that kind of thing.
You know, I think we'll never be satisfied. I mean, in our business, we've committed to coming out with just incredible innovation every single year because we think that that's going to be the best way not only to stay ahead of the competition, but also to keep, you know, customers like you stoked and excited for what comes next.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I was thinking 12, that's a big number. That's a fair few GoPros you've gone through now. How do you make sure when you're planning the next release that it's not just iteration, that there is actual evolution there for customers?
Yeah, well, because we're committed to coming out with a new flagship every year, we can plan, you know, quite far ahead. It's just going to happen, right? And so if we were not looking so far out into the future, then I think, yeah, that would be a struggle. But now we've got a pretty solid roadmap of innovation plan for all of you.
Right, so you got 13, 14, 15,
oh, yeah,
all in the pipeline.
Yeah, and we teased recently that Max 2 is in the works. So we know that a lot of you all are waiting for that, and we couldn't be more excited for what's coming. It's gonna be worth the wait.
For a lot of that, for a lot of those things you're trying to evolve the camera with, is it just about what's technically possible now versus what you can actually try and squeeze in feature-wise?
Well, no, I mean, we're beyond what's technically possible, and we're developing our own processors for these. And that's really been a big part of GoPro, just gapping competition in terms of performance and what's capable in such a small form factor camera. And so we're, you know, rather than sort of being beholden to whatever technology is out in the world and making the most of it, we're inventing our own technology. So you should expect more from that from us.
Well, you mentioned processor there. I mean, battery life's been a big improvement this time around, and I understand it's got a lot to do with the encoding side of things. So I guess that's what you're referring to there?
Yep. No, well, on the encoding front and just an overall overhaul of the Hero12 Black's power management system, we've just made it possible for the camera to operate so much more efficiently. We've heard again and again that our users really want to see that out of the next GoPro, so Hero12 Black delivers on that. And then, you know, on the processing side, you know, being able to capture at up to 5.3K resolution, 60 frames a second, and now in HDR at 5.3K 30 and 4K. The Hero12 Black's just redefining what's possible with a camera of this size, and that's largely due thanks to its GP2 processor, which is a custom GoPro processor.
You know, when I sat down and started looking at the briefing the other day, it was just kind of hit after hit after hit, a feature after feature after feature. I must admit, it was a bit overwhelming trying to think about how I was going to remember it all. there are so many new features. But for you, what are the new features you're most proud of or you most love?
Well, I'm a junkie for wide field of view. It can never be wide enough. And every year we think we've made it wide enough, and then we'll push it further the next year. And it seems crazy at first, and then we all fall in love with it. So last year with Hero11 Black, it was hyper view, where we had our new 8x7 tall sensor, and we used that extra sensor height to enable just this monstrously wide field of view that we call hyper view. And this year we've taken it to the max with Max Lens Mod 2.0, which is a removable optional lens accessory that makes the already wide angle GoPro even wider. And now you have Max Super View and Max Hyper View. And at the end of the day, it's a 177-degree wide angle image that's just staggeringly immersive. And it enables full 360-degree rotation horizon lock in 4K 60, which is it's just a mental bit of kit. That's my favorite feature.
It's I've been wondering about the field of view and just, is there a human limit to where it becomes just too much? Or you think you can just keep going?
Nah, we just want to keep going wider and do so in a manner that we can keep the distortion at a minimum. Hyper view does give you some kind of really dream-like wide angle distortion at the edges, which is incredible for POV, like whether you're mountain biking, surfing, skiing, ripping a motorcycle, anything where you're moving through time and space. Hyper view is you kind of just go into a hyper warp of sorts, which is really cool. But then if you don't want any distortion, you can shoot in Max Super View, which just gives you an enormous field of view, but without distortion at the edges. Really good for documenting yourself, cruising through beautiful landscapes and things where you want to show the trees and the environment around you and whatnot. So we'll always be pushing, the limits in terms of field of view, but also ensuring that there's, more normal perspectives for people that, want the wide field of view, but also don't want to feel like they're on drugs.
Two of my favorite features in the announcement the other day was the Bluetooth, being able to
wireless audio.
Yeah, that's just the use cases I can see for that straight away.
This one.
Like this one. Very exciting.
Lab right here.
And also quick coming to desktop.
Yes.
So that's really cool. That could be a bit of a game changer for a lot of reasons. Yep. Do you see Quick potentially becoming a substitute for Adobe potentially, where people will use Quick and a GoPro subscription?
I love that you said that. I think that there's this really significant opportunity for GoPro to, hit the sweet spot in the middle between the free but somewhat limited editing tools of your phone's native OS and the more expensive and complicated tools of Adobe. In the middle, there's this opportunity for GoPro Quick Mobile and Quick Desktop to both serve content creators who are looking for performance, but also convenience and simplicity and not wanting to spend as much as they're spending on Adobe. And then over time, I think that we'll just keep increasing the capability of our software apps to where, one day maybe give Adobe a real run for its money on the outright performance front. But in some ways, I think we're the ideal editing app with Quick Mobile and soon the Quick Desktop coming out in November, thanks to the automated editing feature, where you just, select the 30 or 40 video clips that you want edited into a highlight video, select the theme and select the music, and it's pretty darn good today. And that's just where we're at today. It keeps getting better and better. And then to be able to use that auto edit feature to help you get to a rough edit if you're a more advanced editor, and then you can fine tune and tweak it. It helps speed up the whole editing process and make it more fun. And that's something we're doing well today, so I'm really excited for where we take it tomorrow.
Logistically, that must be pretty significant. Obviously, you've got unlimited cloud storage. People are uploading all of their videos. They're not small files.
Yeah.
And then doing cloud editing.
Yeah.
What's the back end of all this look like?
It's trick. And it's going to be synced between your quick mobile, your quick desktop, and your GoPro cloud, so that if you start a project in mobile or start it in desktop, you can pick it up on the other platform easily. It's a pretty sophisticated experience that we've had to build. It works really well. And then when you think about how it's paired with your GoPro that auto uploads its footage to your cloud account when the camera is charging, it's just this beautiful ecosystem that's just simply works. And you know, it's pretty remarkable that in today's high-tech world, we're the only camera company that has a camera this sophisticated and is paired with a software experience that is that sophisticated yet convenient, all for $50 US a year as a subscription is
69 here, I think.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah. So is that you know, when we talk about that back end, is that all in-house?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's all in-house.
Yeah.
Wow, it's impressive.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the quick desktop, when we launch it in November, will just be included with the current 69 Australian a year subscription price.
Yep.
So we're not charging anything more for it. And then there will be a premium tier beyond that will enable people to bring in content from any camera they use. And that's a really significant opportunity for us as a business, because all the tools that we're building for people to use with their GoPro footage relate to footage that they capture with other cameras as well.
Yeah.
And like you as a content creating professional, you use a lot of different types of cameras.
Yeah.
So GoPro needs to grow to better serve you, and that's coming soon.
And that's why I was thinking about the Adobe thing there, because I was like, well, since you can put anything from any camera into the system now,
Yeah.
then it becomes, the use case grows.
Yeah.
You must be one of the many tech companies, I guess, that are really hoping that 5G saturation comes quicker sooner than later.
Oh, how cool would it? I mean, connectivity is a big future opportunity for us, as is AI. You know, I know a lot of people in creative professions are worried about AI replacing their jobs. At GoPro, we see it as an opportunity for our business, because we think that AI is going to lead to better and better automated edits. And for those of you who, you know, need to manually edit because it's part of your craft or your passion or your career, we think that AI is just going to help speed up the editing process, so that, you know, maybe you're getting to like a great V1 draft really quickly with AI, and then you're taking it manually and polishing, finishing touches. But ultimately, we think it's going to be a big opportunity. And then as well, things like, you know, image enhancement that's going to be driven by AI is just going to make what this future GoPro is capable of even more impressive.
So you've just you've jumped ahead to one of my other questions, which was going to be about the fact that you guys are a champion for, I guess, human content creation, very kind of action human moments. So, you know, when it comes to AI, is there a balance there between where you don't want to go too hard with AI, where we're seeing basically fake videos?
Well, I think in terms of creating great edits, I doubt you're ever going to complain that you made that too easy for me to do that editing work, right? But in terms of, you know, deep fake type videos and whatnot, for sure they're going to be good for a laugh now and then, to have a video of you like surfing some monstrous wave and it like really looks like you doing it. But we don't think that's ever going to replace your desire to have authentic footage, documentation of your real life experiences. I mean, you can only share so many fake videos of yourself before your friends are, you know, kind of tired of it. So we don't see that as a real threat over the long term.
Do you think that GoPro is underrated for its stills?
Oh, 1000%. Yeah. And also, you know, something that we see people becoming more and more aware of, because we're building into the app, that the ease of pulling out video stills. I mean, with Hero12 Black and Hero11 Black before it, you can capture 5.3K video at 60 frames a second, which, depending on what aspect ratio you're shooting in, you know, that's like a 17 megapixel still or even greater full frame at 60 frames a second. So at a certain point, especially for active, you know, capture of like fast moving active activities, you got to ask yourself, why aren't you just pulling video stills? The resolution is so high and the image quality is so good. And so I find myself more and more capturing photos at 5.3K 60 and then just getting the perfect frame.
And there's the new interval power tool, obviously, as well. So you can take those stills every half a second, and that's exporting the same time as the video. Is that right? Or does it take it afterwards?
No, it's you're either capturing photos or video.
Right. Okay. Got you. So I talked about a lot of the things that we love about the camera, or that I love about the camera. A couple of things that I wasn't sure about in terms of the design decisions: the image sensor. So no change in size there. How about, are we looking at low light with the GoPro now and into the future?
Yeah, you know, everybody keeps wanting us, you know, 1 inch, 1 inch. And never say never, but at the same time, there's a lot of aspects about this camera's design that would kind of blow up if we focused on kind of going to a 1 inch sensor for low light. And when we really dig into it, the performance advantages are offset by things like focal distance and size of camera and how well it performs for the use cases that we primarily designed it for, which are you know better lit situations. What I would say is that we take low light really seriously, and we may or may not have some pretty special things planned for people in the future.
Oh, that's exciting. And one of the kind of use cases I'd love to have with the GoPro is being able to just live stream straight to social. I believe there's roadblocks with the actual social companies with that. Is that the reason why we haven't got it happening at the moment, or what's the reason that we can't just go straight to Facebook Live?
Yes, and that's something that we are working on, but for GoPro subscribers, we do have a really high quality streaming service where you can stream to your own, you know, private player, and so give that a go in the meantime.
So 2 more questions for you. In the 21 years that you've been behind GoPro, what's the best video you've ever seen from a GoPro?
Oh man, the best I mean, come on, it's like...
I know it's a tough question, but there's got to be one that pops straight to mind.
Well, okay, this is gonna sound like campy, but my favorites are just the short little highlight videos of making my family experiences. I mean, dude, life goes so fast. And for me to have these little 1 to 2 minute pieces of gold documentaries of my family experiences, they're like my most valuable possessions. And when we watch the footage together as a family, like no exaggeration, it brings the whole family together, because the family sees my sons, who would normally be, you know, fighting with each other, they see the amazing experiences that we're having together. They see the fun they're having together, and it makes everybody appreciate each other more. So in that regard, it's just like, it's magic. And in a way, I think that that's part of why the brand is so strong, is because that same thing that happens with my family happens at a, you know, more macro social level via social media, where thanks to everybody's GoPro footage, we get to see everybody's shared passions and interests for things that I think ultimately brings us all together in a healthy, positive way. So I'd say your videos are the ones that inspire me the most. But for real, man, I mean, the brand wouldn't be what it is without all of our stoked customers.
And last question, in 2030, what does a GoPro look like?
What does a GoPro look like in 2030? Well, I would say, you used a singular term, and I would say something I'm really excited about is the variety of new GoPros we see in the future. Like right now, we ask so much of the Hero camera, like you were asking about low light, for example. Well, we just see this demand that extends our opportunity beyond the almighty Hero camera to, perhaps branch out into new types of cameras that can help fire you up in new ways. So 2030, I would say, is broader.
Okay. Nick, thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
Sending.